Welcome to making textures look more 3D. In this video, you will play with the texture planes to alter their appearance. Understand that the more complexity you add here, the less you may need later on. So we're going to take a simple blade of grass, which is our texture that we've played with before, and we're going to make it into something much more vibrant, a 3D object. And as we spin round here, we can see that it is truly 3D. So let's go create something like this and hop on over to Blender. Okay, so hidden in our hills at the moment, we've got some blades of grass. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rename these. So this grass seed here, well, they're all on the 5th layer, so let's hop over to there now, getting rid of everything else, or I can press number 5 on the keyboard itself. And I'm going to zoom around here, and I'm going to change the viewport shading down here to the material mode so you can see what's going on. Okay, so it looks like this one here is a tall blade of grass. So I'm going to call this grass tool and then seed, just so I know what's going on. This is grass medium, and I'm going to call it grass medium 1. Another one here which has got an array modifier applied to it. I'm going to remove that array, we're not going to use that, that's just to demonstrate the light paths themselves. And I'm going to call this grass medium 2. And then the final one is this little one down here, which must be this one, the grass with background. I'm going to rename that one grass short. Excellent. So we've got these 4 here, and I'm actually going to hide them now. I'm going to take a duplicate of my grass short by using Shift and D, popping it there, that's absolutely fine. And I'm going to name this grass short example, because that's what we're going to use in a few moments. Now I'm going to do a bit of tidying here, and I'm going to select these grasses and put them on the ground plane themselves. Just move them there manually. Okay, so underneath the ground plane, I have the 4 types of grass we've currently got. If you've got more or less, that's absolutely fine. Okay, let's go ahead and move this short example that we're going to be working on to a new layer. I'm going to press M, and I'm going to move it to layer 6, I suppose. There we go. Now we've got it on layer 6, we can just view it by itself. So we have our blade of grass, and we want to make it look a little bit more 3D. So I'll just pan across to it now. Right, so now we have this in front of us. What we can do is start manipulating. And some very simple ways you can do this is to duplicate it again. You've got to watch out on the outliner here that it doesn't get too crazy, but we can group it together all at the end. So I'm going to duplicate that, which we've done. I'm going to rotate it immediately on the Z axis by, let's say, 180. It disappeared somewhere. Where's it gone? Let's just zoom out and see if we can see what's going on. Okay. The pivot point is the 3D cursor down here, so it'll be spinning around the 3D cursor. We don't want that. We'll change the 3D cursor at the pivot point from the 3D cursor to the medium point, which will put it right on the origin of our object, which is great. That's what we want. So I'm going to duplicate first, and then rotate on the Z-axis by 180. Okay, and now I'm going to move that out ever so slightly. It looks like I'm going to have to do a bit of rotating, otherwise that's going to look like a funny grass plant. So I'm just going to rotate that round, viewing it first from the front. You may have to do the side depending on where you place them, or even the top if you've still got them laying flat on the ground. Although you should have completed one of the last videos, challenges to make sure that they're all the right way up. Oh, looks like we've got another blade of grass. That's okay, we'll scale that one down by pressing the right key. Excuse me, I can't really see the keyboard. and rotate that one around a little further. Okay, so now we've got a grass plant, but it's still 2D, but it's getting there. So let's select all three of those and duplicate them. We'll scale them up ever so slightly and rotate them around on the Z-axis by 90. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good. And I'm going to scale them. Oh, I want to take a duplicate first and scale that in ever so slightly and rotate it on the Z-axis by maybe 60 this time, so it's not always 90. And there we go, we can slowly build up a grass plant that looks pretty awesome. So the final thing that we're going to need to do here will be to group all this lot together. So I'm going to use border select by the B key, select everything, and I'm going to join them all together with Control and J. And I feel like just duplicating it once more, Shift and D, and rotating it on the Z-axis again by another, I'm going to pick a random number, 135, just to make it a little bit more dense. And I'm going to scale that in ever so slightly, select them both, join them, and then I'm going to do one final thing. I'm going to duplicate it once more, rotate it on the Z-axis. This time I'm just going to move around and randomly pick a point. That feels right. Okay, so it's much more dense now, and when we go to, I'm not going to render the image there, I'm literally just going to render it here. That looks like a much fuller grass. So let's go ahead and pop back into material mode, select the two grasses that we have, join them together into one, and I'm going to call this grass short plant. Excellent. And I'm going to group that under the ground plane. And there's one final thing that I'd like to show you here. Perhaps I should have shown you before making a whole plant up. So what I will do is we'll work on another layer quickly, and I'm going to add another images plane, and I'm going to grab my grass blade PNG again. Let's just undo that, 3D cursor in the middle, and try adding that again, but this time remembering to select diffuse and transparent and to use the channel. Brilliant. So with the grass blade selected here, it should come in. I'm going to look at the top so you guys can see what's going on. I'm not going to bother repositioning the origin, but what we can do here is, for instance, add loop cuts in. So in edit mode, we can add a couple of loop cuts in, or we can even subdivide. So I'm going to subdivide it a couple of times, and you'll see, that's probably over the top, but you'll see that this allows us to alter the shape of our model. And I can't see what, the proportion where the size is up. So this enables us to twist and shape and remodel our blade of grass to our heart's content. Obviously, you can do some very weird things, and the reason why we add this extra geometry is if we've just got these four vertices on the end, it becomes quite difficult. If we go and grab a vertex and move it, you can see it has a harsh change just around here. And that's not so great when trying to make something a bit better. So you can move this around, and the more geometry you add, so if we go and subdivide, select everything, subdivide, it gives us more control over this particular model. So as well as rotating that, like we did make it flat, we could actually pull this vertex out a little and make it a little bit taller. Although sometimes you can squish parts of the model you didn't want to squish. There's lots to play with there. In fact, what you can do is make this a bit more three-dimensional in itself, so you can have the grass actually curving round in 3D space, even though it's just a flat texture. And unlike normal geometry, when you're filling it in, it's obviously got a couple of sharp angles here as it moves. Now, those angles are determined by the geometry itself, not, so just for example, not anything to do with the shading you've got set. So if you want it to be a smoother transition, if you're making a texture more 3D, you're going to have to add more subdivisions or something along those lines. And once you have more subdivisions, you can start moving things with a little more finesse, so it's not so wonky. So that should now curve round a little bit better than how it was before. We've still got a few sharp angles. In general, that is much better. Okay guys, it's challenge time. I'd like you to make more grass plants. To make 1 or 2 more grass plants, this will help with making our grass look better. Now remember to preserve the original blades when making those plants. So pause the video now and give that a go. Okay guys, welcome back. Let's hop back over into Blender. So I'm going to use the blade of grass I've been working on here to demonstrate how you can work around your model itself. I'm going to set the origin point first of all, so let's come out of here and hopefully that's set on the mesh. Yes it has. And I'm going to go up here and set the origin to the 3D cursor. That gives me lots of options, including planting it firmly on the ground. And I'm just going to rotate this round on the x-axis by 90, I think. No, minus 90. There we go. So we've now got that coming out of the ground. I'm going to hop into object mode and I think I'm going to duplicate it. Oh, let's set it on 0 first before I do any of that. I think I've got a duplicate there as well. So it just helps when things are all sprouting from the same place, especially with grass, because if you have a look at the grass plants, it does tend to all sprout from a similar location. Get those around, z-axis, around here perhaps. Okay, so that's starting to look pretty good. I'm going to do some scaling here, so it looks a wee bit different. I'm actually going to bring in another texture. So we've got our grass tool. I'm going to duplicate. I can't do it whilst the layer's not active. So let's go and find our grass. There's our grass tool. Oh, am I upside down? I think I just might have built the last thing upside down. Did anybody spot that? I certainly didn't. I was too engrossed in making some grass. Anyway, let's duplicate that embarrassment out of the way and move it to the appropriate layer. I think I'm working on layer 6. Or am I on layer 7? I think I'm on layer 7 at the moment, so let's move it again to layer 7. Okay, it does look like I've reduced some stuff upside down, so I can select all of these grass blades here. And drop this one out for the moment. So this one, this one, this one, and this one. And explain why the rotation was a bit funky. And there we go. Amazing what happens when you're not paying full attention. Bring that up and sight it at 0, 0, 0. What I want here is to produce a plant that's basically a seeded plant. So let's see how that's looking at the moment. Pretty good now, it's actually got some grass down the bottom. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to group them all together. So I can select them all. And let's just come out back into material mode. This orange border, by the way, can get quite irritating. You can turn it off in the properties, scroll down, and go to display. There's an outline selected that you can toggle on and off. When you start having geometry, you can see here, turning that on and off can help massively. And we'll probably use that again later on when we've got lots and lots of blades of grass going on. So I quite like what's gone on there. I'm just wondering, if you look on it this way, it's not so great. So let's produce 2 of these tool seeds before grouping it all together. Or yeah, let's work from there. So just duplicate that and rotate it on the z-axis by 90 degrees. Oh, not the z-axis. Got that coming out there. Might as well third one, I think. So duplicate, rotate, Z. So that looks like a pretty good graph one. I'm going to make one of these look ever so slightly different. So again, I'm going to turn on the outline selected. This is when you do want it on, of course, when you're trying to see things. I'm going to make this one a little bit taller, this one shorter. There we go, now they don't look so much like copies of one another. I'm going to go into edit mode here and try to straighten that up a little more. Just straight at all, and I don't mind if the other is a little bit curvy. Let's grab this one here as well. And of course, this is one of these things again. Does it matter if you do so much with it? Well, with most things in Blender and life, I suppose, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out. Obviously, we've got diminishing returns at some point. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to group all of these together, and that, I think, is all of them. I've selected them in the outliner there by holding down Shift, and I'm going to join them all together with Control and J. And what's it called at the moment? Grass blade 01 dot. That's no good. So it's a grass. It's grass. It's a seeded grass. It's plants. It's a grass seed plant. White plant. Excellent. How did you guys get on? I'd love to see what grass plants you managed to create. Please share them in the discussions, and I will see you guys in the next lecture.